found that have been, have you found that same issue, or have you found maybe a better tactic that I need to know and pick up?
So my first reaction is to think of the words that Paul says to Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 2. First, he says, but reject foolish and ignorant controversies, because you know that they cause division. Now, of course, he's speaking primarily in the context of first century Jewish superstitions and the infiltration of hair-splitting Greek philosophy and the way that it interacted with the revelation of God through Israel and the scriptures, and then of course Jesus himself. But I think that we can draw an analogy to this, that it is good to have conversations, but if it's something that isn't going to be productive or beneficial, and you know beforehand that this is not going to go anywhere and this is only going to create problems, then I would say avoid that. However, Paul goes on by saying, and the Lord's servant must not engage in heated disputes. Like if you feel yourself getting your emotions getting out of control, your disposition and your demeanor is beginning to change, then regardless of the truth that you are trying to defend, you will do more harm than good to the value and the beauty of the truth in the eyes of others by presenting the truth in a wrong way than if you were to simply step away and maybe not storm to the top of the particular hill that the enemy is not going to let you keep anyways, just to say, oh yeah, I made it to the top of the hill, but everybody thinks that you are a hothead and you lose your validity in any kind of future interaction with those people. So Paul says don't engage in those heated disputes. However, be kind toward all, be able to teach. So we should always be ready to give an account for what we believe, to be patient. And here it is, to correct your opponents with gentleness. Very, very big difference in what, our fleshly tendency is to be harsh and to try to one up people, but the correction that we give is intended to be with gentleness. And then Paul says, perhaps God will grant them repentance and then knowledge of the truth. So ultimately, it's not your words and your tactics that is going to change that person. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can lead a cow upstairs, but not downstairs. But that may not really have any kind of connection here, but it just rolled off my tongue there. But it's God is the one who grants them repentance and grants them the knowledge of the truth. And it says, and then they will come to their senses and escape the devil's trap, where they are being held captive to do the devil's will. So, three major things here. We have to understand that there is an underlying agenda of Satan in deception in the world that these people are trapped in and are blinded by. But we are intended to approach these situations in a gentle way and to step back before we allow our emotions and bad reactions to tarnish the truth. And then thirdly, ultimately, it is God is the one who grants these things to them. And so you should neither become angered over the fact that you haven't changed their mind, and you also shouldn't become disappointed, because you're planting the seed, you're doing what you can, and God will take care of the rest through others and through his Spirit.
That is a whole sermon all by itself. That is amazing. Like, I mean,